Kunle Joe Komolafe, fondly called KJK, is a recognized voice in transformational leadership and sustainable development. As the convener of the Real Impact Summit and founder of the Center for Real Impact, he is driving a powerful movement that reshapes how leaders think, build, and deliver impact across borders. With a footprint in the US, Nigeria, the UK, and expanding into other cities and continents, his work spans leadership development, strategic consulting, and enterprise transformation. KJK leads KJK Development Systems, a training, strategy, and consulting organization providing actionable strategies that turn vision into execution for individuals, institutions, and governments. With over 2 decades of experience, KJK is a John Maxwell certified coach. Also, as a cybersecurity enthusiast, he holds credentials including CISM, CRISC, and Security Plus. As a devoted project manager, he holds the globally recognized PMP, PMIUSA certification. His impact includes advisory roles with top consulting firms and strategic work with private and government agencies. As a best-selling author and tireless advocate for excellence, growth, empowerment, and global sustainability, his passion is evident in every initiative he leads. Kunle Joe Komolafe isn't just speaking about the future, he's building it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a real welcome using love emojis in the comment box as we bring to your screen Kunle Joe Komolafe, popularly known as KJK.
Awesome. How are we all doing today? All right. I got a few comments asking, is it going to be live, or have had few questions asked regarding that. But yeah, we are live, and it is a real conversation with KJK coming from the real platform. And I want to say good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're joining from. All right, let's get started. We have a very short time. I have my timer here as well, and also getting to check if we have questions, comments, or concerns. The media team at the back end, please feel free to drop me a message if there are any questions or call outs, because we're using an app to connect with the YouTube. Okay, very quickly, I want you to please share this. Just do us a favor. Let's borrow your WhatsApp status, your Instagram, your Facebook for a few minutes. Just share this link across board. Let your friends see it, let your colleagues see it, let your family members see it. One of the things I just did as well is to share across, let everyone know that we are live. Okay. All right, so we'll be doing this every other week, just so we come together. We have these conversations around issues that has to do with life, that has to do with growth, that has to do with success, mental health, cut across all aspects of life, and how you can relate this to your different spheres of influence. One of the things I want you to do is get your notepad, very important, and also write their action items, some of the things that you will do after we are done. Today we'll be looking at, we'll be having conversations around attention, the law of attention, and this is our first real conversation. So if there are any little media issues here and there, just bear with us. We're going to get perfect over time. So the law of attention, how to win in a world designed to distract you. That's what we're going to be talking about today. The law of attention. I know we've heard about the law of attraction and all kinds of laws. So every time we're having conversations like this on a Sunday evening or afternoon, regardless of where you are joining from, we'll be talking about laws, we'll be talking about principles, and then drill deeper and deeper and deeper. So, the law of attention, okay? The law of attention, how to win in a world designed to distract you. And let me begin with a small, a little confession. And I know a lot of people will be able to relate, with what I want to say. It's a little bit funny. There are times that I pick up my phone to check the time, and then or just quickly check a notification, and then 30 minutes later I'm watching a video, of a man in a village somewhere teaching his goat how to dance, and and the painful part is this, I still haven't checked the time. I haven't still checked the notification. But then in the first place, what I picked up my phone to do is to check what the time says, or probably check a notification. But then, you just 30 minutes, 25 minutes down the line, you're still watching the video of a man in a village, trying to teach his goat how to dance and all of that. I don't know if that has happened to any of us here, that you pick up your phone and you want to reply one message, just one message, you just want to reply. Just remember, I haven't sent a message to somebody. I need to reply a customer, I need to reply a client, or I need to reply my boyfriend, or I need to reply my mom or something. Somewhere it's going to be very quick. Let me just quickly pick up my phone and do that. Then all of a sudden, you're on WhatsApp. Then from WhatsApp, you go to Instagram. Then you go to TikTok. Then you go to YouTube. And then on YouTube, you stumble on a video, or you stumble on a short video on Instagram where someone is explaining why drinking warm water at 4 a.m. can change, your destiny. And before you know it, your destiny has not changed. But you know what has happened? Your schedule has collapsed because you spent a better part of that early morning watching a short reel on how drinking water can change your destiny. And the interesting thing is that, nobody forced us, nobody forced you, nobody came to your house, with a gun in your head to say, hand over to me your attention. No, nobody does that. It comes very subtle, and that's what we want to talk about today. You give that time away willingly, one click at a time, one notification at a time, one scroll at a time, one harmless distraction at a time. That's why I thought about how do we start this real conversation with KJK, and I said, let's start with this. Because right on this call, there will be people who would also not have full attention, moving from the kitchen to the room, from the room to the sitting room. Or there would even be some people right now who would, while watching this, just push that YouTube thing to the side, and they quickly want to run to check what's happening on WhatsApp or what's happening on Facebook and all of that. That's how devastating it has gotten, So I just thought, like, what should be our conversation tonight? This is very important. We may not be able to finish all that I'm processing in my mind to talk about. So wherever we get to, I'll stop, and then we'll take the part 2. So let's say this is the law of attention, part 1. And we can just go on and on for probably the whole of this month, because if we get this right, we will get a whole lot of things right going into the second half of 2026. So we are not talking about time management. That's not what I'm talking about today. It's not even time management. We're talking about life management. Because anything that can get your attention has gotten a good chunk of your life. Because it starts with 5, 10, 20 minutes here and there, coming together over time. You'll be shocked at what has happened to you. So because in this age, right, whoever controls your attention in this age that we are now, whoever, I want to repeat that, controls your attention can influence your decisions. Whatever controls your attention can influence your decisions. Whoever controls your attention can influence your emotions. Whoever controls your attention can influence your spending. You see that? Whoever controls your attention can influence, or whatever controls your attention can even influence your relationships. It can influence your confidence. It can influence your values. It can influence your productivity. And in many ways, by the time you add all of this together, you'll find out that it is indirectly influencing your future. So you want to, going forward, be cautious about this word called attention. Attention is no longer just a personal habit. It's gone beyond that. Attention has become an economy. And I will, over time, when we keep talking about this, every other week, you would find out that attention is actually currency. So if you can pay attention, you will be paying it forward. And I'm intentional about that word, pay attention. Now, why did they even call it pay attention? Have you ever thought about that? Beyond, is it give me your attention? But most often what you hear is, can you pay attention? Can you pay attention? P-A-Y. You are paying attention. So could that be that attention is currency? Attention has become an economy. Attention has become a battlefield. Everything, 75% of the things that have access to our life gates. I taught this many years ago, many years ago, over 20 years ago. I was teaching this a whole lot of times about the gates of a man's life. The eye gate, the ear gate, what you see, what you hear, what you taste, right? And then, and on and on. Anything that has an opening in your body is a gate of a kind. Now, I'm just saying that we need to be cautious about those things. Attention has become a battlefield. That's why Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the kinds of apps that we have, TikTok and Snap, and the TV, the radio stations, the things that you see, the things that you hear, the things that you taste, and all other things, as it were, for PG purposes, parental guidance. So, not really, I'm not talking about physical battlefield now, but then I'm talking about the battlefield of the mind. All of these things come together and have a feast. The table where they sit to have conversations, to war, to battle, is the mind. So when you keep seeing it, when you keep hearing it, when you keep spending time with it, over time they often will sit down at the table of your mind, deciding who takes control, who takes charge. Attention has become a battlefield. Attention has become a leadership skill. Attention has become a survival skill. I don't want to jump the gun talking about some statistics about how sales and marketing is being done, how advertising is being done, and all of. We're going to get to that in a bit, maybe not today. But I want to submit to you very strongly tonight, or this afternoon, that one of the most rarest skills in today's world is not intelligence. We have intelligent men, intelligent women everywhere today. So it's not even intelligence anymore. Intelligence is not that rare. Talent is no longer that rare. You see them fly everywhere. Talented people. Times when I get to read stuff and I see online and I see some of the comments that people, I'm like, where did they even get the creativity to come up with these comments, to come up with these kind of things? Talent is not that rare skill anymore. It's not even exposure. We have people now with all kinds of exposure. One of the things I want to talk about with our leader, that's talking about exposure and the importance of exposure to success in life, right? We'll talk about that some other time. But one of the rarest skills is not even information. Information is everywhere. We have all kinds of AI, all kinds of books, ebooks, and all of that. Just this afternoon, when I was trying to do some studies, I stumbled on a website that you can go to and download all kinds of books. Like all kinds of books, over 1 million. And I'm like, wow. So, one of the rarest skills is not even information. You see, one of the rarest skills today is the ability to stay with what matters long enough for it to produce results in our lives. Your ability to stay with one thing that matters over time to the point where it begins to produce results. That's one skill that has become very uncommon in our time and our age. People jump from one place to the other, from one organization to the other, from one mentor to the other, looking for what is not lost, from one screen to the other screen. The ability to stay with what matters long enough for it to produce results. The patient quotient, if there's anything like that, we have IQ, EQ, and all of that. I would say PQ. The ability to pay attention to something long enough for it to produce results has become very scarce. And that's what we call, or that's what I want to call, the law of attention. The law of attention. When you consistently give your attention, or what you consistently, I'll put it this way now, what you consistently give your attention to will eventually shape your affection, it will shape your ambition, it will shape your attitude, it will shape your action, it will shape your outcome. And that's why the environment you grow, the family setting you grow, the friendship circles that you grow over time, because you are hearing the same thing, you are seeing the same thing. There are some people that if you tell them now, if you're having conversations and you are calling billions, they'll probably will be like, oh, you want to go and do blood money, or you want to go and steal it. Where will you ever have it? There are some people that when they see multi-billionaires, the first thing that crosses their mind is that he's a dupe, he's a 419er, or he's a scam. Some people don't even believe that you can grow a system, a business to the point where it becomes a multi-million-dollar business, a multi-million-dollar conglomerate. Why? Because all their life they grew in poverty, in lack, in you have to really work hard, you have to sweat before you make some kind of money. So it takes a re-engineering of your mind, it takes a re-engineering of what you give your attention to over time to wash that away, right? And then begin to re-inject a new kind of mental life, because everything that you see in the physical was first built in the mind, right? Nothing just happens. Everything you see was created twice, first in the mind, then we don't want to go there today. That's a different conversation for another time. But let me say that again. And I need you to listen, and if you want to write it down, and go back to yourself. Have a meeting with yourself and begin to ask yourself questions. What you consistently give your attention to will eventually shape your affection. It would eventually shape your ambition. It would eventually shape your attitude. It would eventually shape your action. It will eventually shape your outcome. What you give your attention to. So the big question today is, what are you giving your attention to? The question is not what are you doing anymore. People do all kinds of things. The big question, the deeper question behind what are you doing now is, what has your attention? What has your attention? In this series, in this session that we're going to be having over time, that's what we're going to be focusing on for probably the next 4 sessions. Attention, the law of attention. Because your attention is the steering wheel of your life. I'll say that again. Your attention is the steering wheel of your life. Where your attention goes, that's where your energy would follow. For everything you pump and put in your energy is as a result of your attention. Where your attention goes, that's where your energy will flow towards. And where your energy goes, over time your life begins to move in that direction. Can we say that your attention determines your direction? Yes. Very subtle. And over time, where your life keeps moving, your destiny begins to form. I'm sure you know the word destiny is from the word destination. It's nothing supernatural about my destiny. No, your destiny is just coined out of the word destination. So where your life keeps moving, your destiny begins to form as a result of your attention. Remember I said attention, energy, your life keeps moving in that direction, and then where your direction keeps moving, that's where your destiny begins to form. So let's bring it home now a little bit more. Time is really running fast. Oh wow, 45 minutes. Oh sure. There was a time when distraction had to look for us, right? Many years ago, the years of 3310. If you don't know 3310, you should be frustrating to greet me every morning. The years of Nokia 3310, Ericsson, and all of those. The years where, I remember back then in the university, we have to go to the front of the school building, school gates, to go check our emails. The days of cyber cafes, the days of you have to go to Nitel. For those in Nigeria, for those of us that are in the US or in the UK, that phone that you have to roll and roll and roll. You have to, probably, if you don't have one in your house, for those of us in a little bit more developed nation, You would have to, go to the postal office to pick up your, what do they call that thing again? Fax and all of those things. Now we have those in the houses today. So back then, you have to really take that energy to go have access to some kind of distraction. Distraction had to look for us. That's what I'm trying to say. But today, distraction doesn't have to look for us. Distraction is in your pocket, is in your bags. Distraction literally sleeps by your bedside. Distraction literally wakes up before you do. That's the era. That's the world that we have found ourselves. It follows us into meetings. That you're in a meeting and you can't even concentrate anymore because you received a text message just a few minutes before getting into the room. You cannot focus with your presentations because just an hour ago you got an email. Not that you had to walk that far to go get the email. It's right there in your pocket. It follows us everywhere. It follows us even to our family time. So much so that everybody is asking, are you okay? What's wrong with you? Probably a message, a call, a thought from something you saw a day before. It follows us everywhere. It follows us into our thinking time, our reading time. You tell yourself, I want to read for 2 hours. And then 1 hour, 15 minutes of that reading time, you are thinking about something. How do I fuel my car? How do I get this? How do I get that? All of that just comes at you. Some people no longer wake up into the day anymore. The reality of things. And a lot of them probably, a lot of us probably will be on this call. You don't wake up into your day anymore. You wake up into your phone. You wake up into your phone. That's not how greatness happens. And then you spend hours making declarations, affirmations in prayer houses and prayer rooms and all kinds of things that, but then you also have your own part to play. We always need to understand that. And it is just this one thing amongst all the laws that makes for greatness and success in life. If you can answer the question of distraction and attention, you probably will be 60% good. Probably 60% good. I don't know if I'm communicating. And that's why I said in the video I sent out to our real platform team that it's not one of those, inspirational moments or motivational. It's a real life, real solution, transformational sessions that this would be every other Sunday. Some people, before they wake up in the morning and then, whoever they see as their God, for some, before they even say, thank you, Lord, they have checked who viewed their status. Before they ask what is my assignment today, they have already entered somebody else's argument online. Before 9 a.m. in the morning, they already know what's happening all over the world. Who said who to who left his wife, who left her husband. Before they even organize their minds, the world has already downloaded noise into it. How do you want to get results like that? I have some statistics of how many thoughts from the external perspective comes to a man before 7 a.m. Somewhere in my conversation, I'll bring it up. I was studying that day before yesterday while preparing for this. Because what I do, I soak myself, I ask questions when I'm preparing. So I try to internalize as much as possible my conversations. Maybe someday we'll talk about public speaking. And how to own the stage, how to own the mic. Before you organize your mind, the world has already downloaded noise into it. How do you want to get results like that? And then you wonder why you feel tired before the day begins. You're carrying too much of distraction and less of attention. We wonder why we are anxious. We wonder why we are easily irritated. We wonder why we start many things, but we finish very few. We wonder why we are busy but not fruitful. Why we are informed, so much of information, but very little transformation. The issue is not that we lack activity. The issue is that our attention has been scattered. Do you get that, sweetheart? And scattered attention produces scattered results. Scattered attention produces scattered results. All right, let's look at some reality. A researcher, Gloria Mack, you can check it out, that's her name. Gloria Mack, she studied attention for decades. And then she reported that average attention on a screen has declined to around 47 seconds. Average attention of a human over time, having studied attention for decades, has declined to about 47 seconds before people switch. They switch from one channel to the other, from one thing to the other, from Facebook to Instagram to Twitter, Snapchat, and some people have become so very expert at it. Think about that, 47 seconds. That means many people are no longer finishing a thought before another thought interrupts it. Did you get that? Before another thought interrupts the one you are on. You're not done yet. 47 seconds. Let us sink down a little bit. Now, I'm talking to trailblazers. I'm talking to world changers. I'm talking to history makers. I'm talking to people who want to leave a mark beyond what they will eat and drink. Now that's what is our desire. That's what we are looking forward to. That's what we are chasing. That's what we want. But beyond that, we're thinking sons, we're thinking daughters, we're thinking granddaughters, we're thinking grandsons, we're thinking generations beyond us. That alone would drive you to be and to want to push for more. That I know that what to eat and what to drink, how to get stabilized, how to get my COS, for those in the UK, how to get my green card, how to get myself stabilized. And for those who are already stabilized in all of those nations, you're thinking about how to, get this, how to get that, and all of that. Those are the people that this session is for. People who want to be more, who want to do more. Another statistics from Rescue Time Research also found that the average knowledge worker checks communication tools like the phone, laptop, and all of those things every 6 minutes while walking. An average knowledge worker checks communication tools about every 6 minutes while walking. Another analysis from the same folks, the Rescue Time Research, found that many knowledge workers get only about 1 hour, 12 minutes of productive time in a day. 1 hour, 12 minutes of productive time in a day. So when you work 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, as it were, they found out of research that productive hours of a lot of people in our generation is about 1 hour and 12 minutes in a day, without email or WhatsApping or texting and all of those things that comes in between. And I would wrap up, just talking about this analysis, and then we continue again in 2 weeks. Another report came. This one is data reportal, not reporter, reportal, portal. And they said that the world spends more than 15 billion hours every day consuming social media content. The world spends more than 15 billion hours every day consuming social media content. You see, one of the things I did, and it's reduced drastically now, also because of this. And that's why I said when I was preparing this, I was beginning to ask myself a lot of questions as well. The world has become so noisy that it is eating into our attention quotient and destroying unconsciously the future. The U.S. Surgeon General's advisory report, it says that 95% of young people aged between 13 to 20 use a social media platform, and more than 1/3 uses social media almost constantly. And then there is an undertone, like a rider to it, which the question was how much more folks between the age of 20 and 40 who are more independent than even the ones that are 13 to 17, that to an extent still have some PGs to their life. So I don't just want you to hear these numbers as statistics. I want you to hear them as a mirror. Like, look at it and look at yourself. We are living in a world where attention is being mined, is being packaged, repackaged, sold, resold, and monetized. That you are paying people to take your attention from what really matters to your greatness in life. There are a lot of us on this call that would have been better than we were in January if only we had paid more attention to what really matters the most to us. And I'll wrap up here in a bit. I have a minute. Your attention is somebody's business model. Get that into, somewhere. And the media can, I know you're picking up, like you always do, quotes and all of that. I found out, if you really sit down again before the mirror, you will find out, I actually have 5 minutes, sorry. I changed, it's 3:40, that means 8:40, yeah, wherever you work. So your attention is somebody's business model. Yep. I'm careful not to call names of people that a lot of us, are used to going to. And then before you know what's happening, you've done 2 hours, you've done 3 hours. That rather scrolling, you can use studying. Rather scrolling, you can use sleeping and resting. Every app wants you to stay. Always understand that behind what you think triggers your excitement, triggers your quote and unquote what we call boredomness, if there's anything like that, is another human being who is being paid. Actually, a system being paid for it. Every app wants you to stay. Every platform wants you to scroll. You need to understand that every notification wants you to return. Understand that every headline wants you to click. Every brand wants you to remember them. Every algorithm wants you to learn what keeps you emotionally engaged. So the question is, you clicked it on Monday, Tuesday, when, oh shoot, this is what she wants, this is what he wants. Let's emotionally engage him some more. So they keep pushing it to you. They keep pushing it to you. Have you ever been in conversations where you're just having a conversation with somebody, and then all of a sudden, the things you guys discuss are the things you begin to see on the screen? You say the phones now have listening device, but beyond all that, now they built it in there. It is now left for us, you and I, to also build in a disciplined chip to push back. We can't push back all of it. That's the truth. But a good number of it. A good number of it. You know, someone last year, you know, saw the vice chancellor of Covenant University, you know, who is also, you know, one of the richest black pastors, right, in the world, if not the richest today. You know, they were having an event at the Covenant University, and then he was receiving a phone call when one of the pictures was taken, and then the person circled the phone he was using and sent it to me, and I'm like, you know, my response was, they play, you know. Of course he probably would have other phones, but the one he takes out is not the one that you can connect to any Wi-Fi. You know, that phone looked like a Nokia or something, you know, kind of. See, I've been a student of people, you know, biographies and autobiographies. That's what I was trying to say earlier, that, you know, I used to consume a lot of autobiographies and biographies, but now I'm going back to it, I'm picking up that again, you know, gradually. Now I'm trying to read some, you know, some of them here, buying new ones coming out. And you know, Biden's wife just released one. I just placed the other yesterday. You know, just trying to read and understand. You know, we had a conversation on Wednesday. It's Wisdom Wednesday for us at the Real Platform. It was a chat. I was just, you know, having a conversation with our members, and then someone asked. I think it was Timmy, one of our members asked. You know, he screamed and was like, "What books do you even read?" And I smiled. I did not respond because. All right, so every algorithm wants to learn what keeps you emotionally engaged. Do you understand? That's why your phone does not just show you what you searched for. It begins to show you what you may likely desire, what you may fear. It will show you what you envy, argue with, laugh at, or the things that you buy. It's intentional. Is intentional because you need to keep the rich getting richer who understand these dynamics. The system has learned something powerful. Human beings do not only pay attention to what is important. Guess what? We also pay attention to what is emotional. That's why brands use attention so well. The banks, the corporate organizations, the grocery businesses, and all of those, they know that it's not just what is important, it's also what is emotional. And that's why they would start with hooks. For those of us who understand how it works in the advertising business, they know that if they don't catch you in a few seconds, they will lose you. So they would open, you know, with surprise, humor, pain, beauty, urgency, controversy, curiosity. You understand? Identity, something you identify with. A skincare brand will not say, they won't start by saying something like, we manufacture dermatologically tested products. No, they're not going to say that. How does that affect me? You know, they probably will start with something like, if your face gets oily by 2 p.m., this is why. And then they will stop. Then you now be, let me check. Because it looked like they entered your bathroom and they saw that you're always cleaning your face. I mean, I've been trying to do a lot of fitness lately. If you check my phone now, you will see lots of fitness coaches and all of that. Why? Because I checked on a few. A fitness coach will not start by saying, I have a 12-week program. Check those even on Instagram and all of that. No, that's not what they're going to say. They will say things like, if you're over 40 and I'm over 40 and your belly fat is refusing to leave, I think I have one that is refusing to leave. They will not say, listen to this. Now, everybody will adjust. If you're above 40, you want to check. A bank will not come to you. I'm excited we have some bankers. Will not come to you and say, open an account, open an account. That's not what they would say. But they would ask you, what if your money could work for you while you are sleeping? If you deposit 10 million, if you deposit 1 billion, you get this. If you deposit 20, you get that. Now you are listening because you don't want to work. You want your money to work for you. This is attention designed, and we need to understand that. All right, I hope with these few points of mine, I'll stop here, and then in 2 weeks from now, we'll take it up again. Like I said, it is a conversation, right, that we want to have, and we want to begin to discuss this going forward. In these real conversations. If you have questions, feel free. You can send them out to our email. You can reach out, and then we'll discuss that question the following week, the other week that we come together. Or if you want to have a one-on-one, feel free to reach out, and then someone would schedule an appointment with you. Again, please get our materials. I have some of my books. Unlock Your Relevance, good book. You want to read that. Unlock Your Relevance. We have Embrace the Future, good book as well. Embrace the Future. You see that? And then the most recent one that I'll be doing a lot of book signing when I come to different cities going forward is The Future of Leadership. Great book. I've read this book myself like twice now. You want to read those books. Very, very important. Thank you so much for your time. And again, please, you can still grab this and share. It's going to be on our YouTube, the real platform, YouTube, for a while, so you can pick it up, share it, and then the media, when you are naming it, you can real conversation, part 1, part 2, we can go like that, because I still have a lot to talk about when it comes to attention and what we can do, right? What should we do going forward? But in the meantime, go back, listen to it, understand what I'm trying to say. All I have done today is just to lay the foundation, right? I'll see you again soon, in another 2 weeks. I hope this made some sense. Like they say many years ago, like we used to say, with these few points of mine. I hope I have not confused you. All right, thank you so much. It's 45 minutes, and that's how we want to do it going forward. Bye for now.
The Real Platform mission is to catalyze young people across the world
to leverage practical and innovative approaches for global citizenship. Our vision is a world where every young person is transformed into a global citizen, equipped to create positive change in their communities and beyond. Through strategic initiatives, leadership development, community engagement, and innovative projects, we are empowering the next generation to become responsible changemakers and nation builders. We invite you, join our thriving tribe today and become a member in any of our city expressions. We also invite you to partner with us, sponsor our projects, and join us in making a lasting impact across communities and nations. To become a member of this tribe or to partner with us, sponsor a project, or learn more about our work, please call or send a message to +234 704 446 4445. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. The Real Platform mission is to catalyze young people across the world to leverage